It's almost Christmas, and we've got a lot of exciting news that happened in VR this week to give you for the holiday. BoboVR has dropped another teaser about their upcoming audio solution, and although none of it is news we haven't told you before, it does again confirm that these headphones, earphones, speakers, whatever they are, they're going to work with all third-party head straps, not just BoboVR straps. You're not going to need to buy a whole new strap. It's not going to come as part of a strap. You're going to be able to attach it to whatever you need to. And of course, now on Twitter, we have a kind of picture to see a little bit of what this looks like, although knowing how their head straps attach already, it's hard to see how this can integrate with everything that's out on the market, so this teaser picture may not be an exact representation of what's coming. That said, we will have more for you very shortly on this, I can tell you. The Quest 2 is about to get a GPU boost through a software update, of all things. Meta announced they're going to increase the maximum frequency of the current GPU, or the graphics processing unit, from 490 megahertz up to 525 megahertz, adding about a 7% boost to the GPU. This is to enable developers to keep and maintain higher frame rates while having better potential graphics. And an interesting thing, even the Pico 4 actually uses the same GPU as the Quest 2, and they run that thing at 587 megahertz. So there is more room to grow, but this is good news for people who have had the Quest 2 a long time, especially if you've noticed some frame drops in games, more of the big games like Red Matter 2, Iron Man VR. I know I had a few issues in Iron Man, so more power is always good, and when it comes free, it's even better. This is going to roll out as an automatic update. You're not going to have to wait for software V48 or anything to come. This should roll out automatically to you. And as people are speculating that this is the last year in the life cycle of the Quest 2, this is a nice little boost to get at the end as we start approaching hopefully a Quest 3 by the end of next year. We don't have one solid VR awards ceremony yet that happens each year through one main company. We see the VR awards, we see VR game awards through different media outlets, one of which is RoadtoVR.com. Media website gives you a lot of news about VR. They have announced their picks for their VR awards games of the year. For PCVR, they announced The Last Clockwinder to be the winner. Although Moss Book 2 won the actual Game of the Year from the regular Game Awards, it was given PlayStation VR Game of the Year winning by RoadtoVR. For MetaQuest, they gave the award to Red Matter 2, of course one of the most gorgeous looking games we've ever seen on the Quest. They gave an Excellence in Immersion Design award to Bone Lab, and a design award for excellence in locomotion to Knock, the game that a lot of people are saying is basically Rocket League in VR, which if you've ever played it or seen footage of it, you do need good locomotion that keep you from getting sick. They gave an excellence in VR adaptation over to Cities VR. Their excellence in user interface design award over to Cosmonius High, of course the same creators of Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator. For indie development design, they gave it over to Virtuoso. And their last award for ongoing development over to Pistol Whip, a game that has continued to get more and more free DLCs and did have a price increase once to try and accommodate how much they've added free after the fact. So what do you think on those? Was there a game that should have won an award you think that wasn't on the list, or do you think one of these didn't deserve the award? I'd love to know in the comments. We saw some controversy in the VR realm this last week when Skydance Studios, the developer of the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners series, reached out to creators through email saying that they had dropped a patch to fix a bunch of the issues that had happened with Chapter 2's launch. And in this email, they said, hey, we want to sponsor videos and pay creators to share the good news of all of the things that we have fixed and to help improve the rating, which wasn't looking so good on the store at the time. Over on Twitter, we saw different reactions to this, with some people saying that they thought this really was not cool of Skydance to do, citing that they were worried maybe content creators would not disclose that they were paid to then share this news with them. And then of course we saw a lot of creators chiming in, hey, a lot of creators were already going to cover this news. Now the fact that they can actually be paid for their time and work they put in, they thought that was okay. Differing opinions, of course, on both sides of this. That's where with this one, I'd be really interested to know, what do you think about this? The way the email was presented, there was some cash symbols in it, obviously trying to catch attention to help people because they wanted to turn this around really quick, get this news out to everybody, the patch was better, and try to, of course, improve their rating, their sales, and of course, the reputation of this game, especially as the Saints and Sinners 1 was known as one of the greatest games in VR. I will say, personally, our channel was sent this email and we did not respond to it, but it definitely seemed like more of the creators, from what I read, were in support of these kinds of opportunities from companies to help spread the word positively. And of course, as long as they disclose in the video that they were paid to go re-examine the video and talk about it. So with all that news this week, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holidays if it's something that you are celebrating this week. And of course, if you're in the US where there's a sheet of ice practically over the country right now, be safe out there, be careful, and thank you so much for coming out and being with me once again. I will see you in another reality.